All right, let's talk inspiration here real quick. So Super Bowl happened not too long ago, and I remember watching the halftime show trailer and looking at the 3D image animation here for the Apple Music logo, and it just got me thinking, maybe this is something that we can create in DaVinci Resolve as well. Well, let's find out. Okay, so first things first, I have the Apple Music logo downloaded, and what I'm gonna do actually is to take it to Adobe Express and then convert this PNG file into a SVG. And it's super easy to do, and it comes at no cost to anyone. Then I also have this golden texture image, which we'll be using later on for our 3D logo animation. So with that being said, let's jump straight to our Fusion page. All right, so let's come to the Fusion menu up top. Let's go to Import, select SVG. Now this will allow us to bring the SVG file that we just converted to earlier using Adobe Express with our Apple Music PNG file. Now let's set the image size to 1920 by 1080 and then click OK. And now you're gonna see that, well, this looks slightly different. So let's unpack this. Well, let's right click and then in the menu, select ungroup. So now this is going to reveal all the individual parts that make up this SVG. Now, if you look at it, you're gonna notice that there are many parts here that aren't really necessary. We don't really need them. So let's get rid of all of these. All we really need is just the last part here. To be honest, even the background, the green background, we don't really need that. And even the first polygon masking node there, it's also not needed because there's nothing. All we really need is just all these individual polygon masking nodes that make up the actual logo. So now that SVG has automatically created a mask for our logo here, we still need to convert this into shape node in order to be used in the 3D animation. So what we're going to do is to find the shape nodes. We're going to specifically look for as polygon node, and all we're going to do is to just drop it on top of each one of these polygon masking nodes, and then when it's asking you if you want to replace it, just make sure that you click OK. I'm just going to speed through this part real quick, and then once you're done, make sure that you connect all these as polygon nodes to a S merge node. Now, if we look at the S merge node right here, well, we can't really see anything. The reason is because for some reason, all these are sort of offset by default. So what we're gonna do is to select all these S polygon nodes, and then let's double click the offset setting here. So now as you can see, this is going to reset it back to 0. All these individual components are back to the center. So now let's click on the S merge node, and we're going to bring up our search menu. Let's search for Extrude 3D node. Now, Extrude 3D node can only work with shape nodes, and this is exactly why we went through all this trouble to convert everything into shape. So let's just bring that in, and then let's also bring in Blender 3D, and then let's also start to bring in Merge 3D as well as Render 3D to complete our 3D float here. I'm also going to quickly convert our preview screen here into dual screen, and then I'm going to project the Merge node onto the left and the render node onto the right so that you can see the finished product at all time. Now, one quick thing I'm gonna do here, and you don't have to do this, I'm going to just create some more space in between each part of our logo here. So as you can see, I'm just going to the offset setting here, just push these parts a little bit off to the left or to the right to create some additional space. I just think that this is going to make the finished product look a little bit better, but once again, this is completely optional. So now here comes the fun part. So we're gonna come to Extrude 3D, and let's start to bring up the extrusion depth here. Now you're gonna see right away now we have a 3D looking logo just by changing this setting. Now, if we look around, you're gonna see that this looks great, but we need to kind of shift this a little bit to the side so that it's going to mimic what we saw in the trailer earlier. So that's where the Blender 3D node is gonna come in handy. Let's change it first of all to shear. Let's also change the axis to Z. Now, if we play with the amount here, you're gonna see that it seems like everything is centered in the middle. So we need to change that. Let's come to the center setting here, bring it all the way to the left. So now if we mess with the amount, you're gonna see that it's anchored to the back. This is looking more like it. So let's just bring up this amount setting ever so slightly. Let's bring up the angle setting there a little bit too, so that it's kind of shifted to the side. Let's keyframe it, and then we're gonna move over about 20 frames. Let's keyframe again. Now let's go back, and then we're gonna just bring this back to 0. So now you're gonna see that we're getting a glimpse of the animation that we saw before, and now we are off to a good start. But hold on, where is that red surface? So we are actually going to create a separate flow just for that. So let's bring in another Extrude 3D, connect S merge to it, and then connect this back to the merge node with the other flow, and then we're going to come to this one here, go to the material tab, click on override diffuse color. Let's change the color to red. So now this will become our red surface, but we still don't see it. So if we turn this logo around, you're going to see that right now it's sitting in the back, and we need to make sure that this is going to come to the front. So to do that, we are going to come back to the other Extrude 3D node. Let's set a keyframe for the extrusion depth setting here, and then we're going to go over about 20 frames, set another keyframe, go back to the first one. Let's bring this all the way down to 0. So now voila, you see our red surface, but it's not being animated. So what we're going to do is to come back to this other Extrude 3D, and then we are going to come to the transform tab. Let's set a keyframe for the XYZ setting under translation. Let's move over about 20 frames, and then we're going to make sure that we place this just right in front of the other logo. So now you're gonna see that this is going to look like that it's moving in sync, and they are pretty much the same thing, but in reality they are two separate objects, two separate flows. But one other issue though is that in the beginning here, you're gonna notice a little bit noise for the Apple logo. And to fix that, all we need to do is just come to the Z setting here in the beginning, and then make sure that we just bring this up ever so slightly. That's all we need, and boom, now this looks way much better. And the reason we're just getting that noise is because they are too close, and our system just can't quite make it out that well. So now this is going to fix it. All right, so now let's just zhuzh it up a little bit by adding some texture. So let's go to media pool and then bring that golden texture picture I showed you guys earlier. And we're gonna connect it to the extrusion 3D node here. Now you can tweak it however you want here with this. All I'm gonna do is just to bring a brightness and contrast node, and then I'm going to simply just bring up the gain setting there just a little bit, and you're gonna see that it's just going to add a nice glow to it. It looks really good. Now to wrap this up, we are going to add some lights, shadows, and also a camera. So first of all, let's bring a spotlight node, and we're going to connect it to the merge 3D node. Now we are going to come up to the preview screen here on the left, make sure that lights is enabled in the 3D environment, and we're also going to come to the render 3D node here, make sure that lights and shadows are enabled as well. Now you're going to see that it's just black, but that's okay. We're going to come to the spotlight here. We're going to pull this camera back by going to the Z setting, under translation, on the transform, just to start to bring this up. You're going to see right away that we have lights. We also have really dark shadows. And we're just going to pull this back a little bit more here. And I think that looks okay for now. Let's go back to controls tab. Let's just crank up the cone angle and also the penumbra angle there as well. This looks a little bit better. And now let's go back to our transform tab. And the first thing we're going to do here is to click on use target. So now this is going to anchor our light against the logo. And then I'm also going to adjust the X and Y settings under translation. So the goal here is to move our light off to the left hand side here, and then just bring this up as well so it looks like it's shining down from the top left corner. Now this is also going to create some pretty harsh shadows. So we're going to go back to the controls tab there. And then let's just bring up our shadow setting. Let's go to softness, and then let's make sure we change that to constant. And then we're going to just bring this up ever so slightly. This, as you can see, is going to just take care a lot of that harshness. Now let's also copy and paste this spotlight, and I connect this back to the merge node. For the second one here, I'm going to move this to the right corner. So let's just simply change the X setting, move this off to the right hand side. So now these two work together will create a really nice light for this entire scene. Now let's just bring in an ambient light here. This will help really light up the entire scene here. So let's just bring up the intensity here, and you're gonna see that right away it's going to make a pretty big difference. And I'm also going to change the color here to like a yellowish color to kind of coincide with the overall theme color here. Okay, so now to finish this whole thing up, we are just going to bring a camera 3D node. Let's connect it to the merge 3D node, and we are going to come to the transform tab. Let's start to increase the Z setting under translation. So this is going to allow us to pull the camera back. Now, of course, the further you pull the camera, the smaller our object here is going to look. So I'm going to just pull this, start to bring this forward a little bit. I think this looks pretty decent. So we're going to leave it like that. All right, so now what we can do is to simply just connect it to media out 1 here, and then let's just take this back to the edit page, let this whole thing render. And you're gonna see that, yeah, here we go. We have our 3D logo animation. And we can easily just combine this with a footage here by simply pushing it onto the second track. Let's just bring a random clip here right underneath it on the first track. And you're gonna see that this looks so good, works really well with any footage, and just like kind of what we saw in the trailer. Now, there is a lot of customization you can do for this, especially if you're working on a commercial project or for a client. So to demonstrate, I'm going to use only the letter M and S here. So essentially what we're going to do is to create a separate stream, separate workflow for each individual part of this logo. So we are going to just copy all this, and then we're going to paste it, connect the letter S to it. We're going to create a separate flow for just this letter. Now, the great thing about having this separate work stream is that you can now create a lot of customization. So for example, right now, this animation, they're all happening at the same time. You can stagger it. So we can just literally come to all these animation here by going into the spline editor and then start to move them over by about 4 or 5 frames. So now what is gonna happen is that you're gonna see that the M, letter M is going to get animated first, and then you're going to see the letter S start its own animation. So it's going to resemble kind of like what we saw in the trailer, where each component has a slight time lag between their animations. So yeah, this is something I would do, especially if I'm working on a large scale project, but this is how you can go about it. All right, you guys, I hope this helps. And as always, I will see you next time.